on, everybody? This is MKR or Man 96. You can see my character. Today in a video I did talk about how I was going to show you my classes in my created class system, just so you guys can have a feel on what I do and how I play Call of Duty. Now to start off, we do have the Bal 27 Inferno. If you look at all the Bals, I have every single one of these ones, but the most guns I think I have of any variant is the ASM1. So I do have a lot of Bal classes and a lot of ASM1 classes, and I do have the almighty AK-12 RIP, and I have more AK-12s, it looks like, than Bal 27s. Now, the reason why I use this gun, and as you guys can see my class setup, I'll kind of explain the reason why I have this class setup the way it is. So this is basically all this video is going to be to start off, is just me going through my classes, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I know a couple of you have been asking me to make a class setup video, and this is kind of what I'm going to go through to what I use, and so hopefully you guys will sit there and try it out. Now, I do have the Bal 27 Inferno. I know some people don't have it and some people do, so that's why I'm making a video incorporating the Bal 27 Inferno and just a regular Bal. Now for this, I have stock, suppressor, and foregrip. Now this is because this is mostly my DNA bomb class, so I normally use this class setup to go for a DNA bomb. Now I use stock obviously so I can have some agility and not always have to aim in around corners to try to get that fast you know, aim around the corner kind of speed. So this way I can just aim around a corner already having my sights up, and that'll give me the advantage to someone trying to aim their sights up to get the kill on me when they're coming around the corner. And I have suppressor so I can try to stay hidden. At least halfway hidden is what I like to call it, because in this game, as you know, you can be spotted very different ways. You can be spotted with not having suppressor and not having blast suppressor, and so I mean it's kind of a downfall not to have blast suppressor, but you know it doesn't really matter to me. And then I have foregrip on there because the Bal 27 Inferno has a higher fire rate, so the Bal 27's the Bal 27 sights move up, the recoil is greater than the regular Bal, so you definitely want foregrip on the Bal Inferno. Now I use low profile because, like I said, this is my DNA bomb class, so I'll use that so I can try to stay hidden to the UAV and different stuff. But as you guys know, there is also a perk that you can use to sit there and find people even if they have suppressor on. So I mean, that's kind of, I mean, it's annoying in Call of Duty. I mean, sometimes I think, is it better just to not have suppressor on or not? But the chance that a lot of people are using, I don't even know what it is called in here. The fact that people are using something that, you know, they can see you shooting with suppressor on is kind of slim to none. And then I have peripherals on. Now, I either will have peripherals on or I will have fast hands. It kind of depends. Normally, I want peripherals, but I also kind of want, you know, fast hands, because then you can also, you know, reload while you're sprinting, and it helps. It actually helps quite a bit. And then I have toughness on, obviously, because it helps you out a lot. I know some people, there was a big controversy as if it was needed when Advanced Warfare first came out, and I didn't think it was, but now I think that you definitely should have toughness on, and it's actually really debatable if you should have scavenger on or blast suppressor on. Those are like the two kind of controversial things that I think should be controversial, just because of the fact that they're both really important. And I mean, toughness is just even more important, I think, than either of these two. But the reason why I put scavenger on is so I can keep reloading. The Bal 27 is actually a really good gun, so that's why I want to keep using it. And I mean, just in case, you know, you never want to run out of ammo in your gun, even though you're picking up other guns. It's always a chance that if the gun is laying on the ground, it's because the person died, obviously, and they might not have enough ammo in it as well. So normally I'll have scavenger on, but there's times where I do use blast suppressor. Depends on what kind of players I'm playing with that night, because as you guys know, if you guys play Call of Duty, you know that the players that you play against every day seem to be quite different. And then I have the UAV on with pretty OP stuff, I guess you call it, with extra time, the enemy direction, and threat detection. Now, I don't think you really need both of these on. I just like both of them on because there is a perk where you can't see them through threat detection, so I just have both of them on. But a lot of people do use speed as well. Now, I have the system hack on with also OP kind of things. I have the disabling exosuits, and this is because normally if you put this on, you will always see the people on the ground. So you don't need to look up in the sky for the, you know, 20 seconds that it's on, especially when I have the extended time doubled up here, actually tripled up because of the actual time it comes with, and then extended the time 2 more times, triple the time of a system hack. Now, honestly, to use these kind of score streaks with these 3 perks on each of them, you're going to have to be quite a bit of a good player, because if you're not a good player, you're probably not going to get any of these streaks, as these are kind of high streaks, because if you put these on, these streaks are actually higher than getting a paladin. So if you can't even get a paladin, you might not be able to get these score streaks. Now I use overclock just so I can get to a position that I want to be in, that I feel like is a good holding point or a choke point to hold down. So that's why I use that. Other things here, I guess it's up to you to see what you want to use. To me, I just like using Exo overclock. A lot of people don't really pay attention, especially when you're playing like domination. It's kind of hard to hear people dashing around anyways, so that doesn't really, I don't use Exo Mute. And here I have the regular Battle 27, basically exactly the same stuff. This is more of my dominating class, where I'll sit there and I'll have the Warbird on, but nothing too different here. As you guys can see, the perks are basically the same. The only thing that is different here is I don't have Suppressor on, so I will be using the Quick Draw perk. Now, I guess you don't need Quick Draw on. You can put on Extended MIGs or whatever you want here, but I just prefer having Quick Draw on. It's actually, I think, a really good perk to have to bring up your sights quicker. And even though you have stock on, it's still really useful. Now, another class I have here is my regular ASM-1. Now, I have this class because sometimes the Speakeasy has a pretty high fire rate. As you guys can see, the fire rate goes up by 2, which increases it to 13. And then the regular one is just at 11. So if I can't, control the fire rate and the recoil on this gun for, like, let's just say a day, I'll actually just go switch over to the regular ASM-1 and go play with that as the same. Now, on my Speakeasy, I actually do not use advanced rifling. Now, you guys might think that's kind of weird because the damage does go down by 1. Now, the only thing that actually increases here is fire rate, and whatever else. I don't actually know exactly what the symbols mean, but I mean, as you can see just from the little graph thing, fire rate's the only thing that kind of goes up. There is another thing, but I can't actually tell what it is. It looks like it's just showing that the fire rate goes up by 2. And then I'll sit there and I'll use my regular ASM-1 just in case I can't control the fire rate here. But the thing with this class is, as you can see, I have, let's see, I don't know why I have 13 here and 13 here, but I actually have less things here. I wonder if this doesn't count as a perk, because let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, because I do have primary gunfighter on. Alright. I don't know why it says that I have the 13 perks on here, but it says that I don't have it on, I mean, it says I have it on here, but I don't have a thing here. Maybe just because the extended MIGs actually doesn't count as a perk just because it was already on the gun. But anyways, those are my classes for that, and then we go over to the HBR Average Joe. Now, I only have a couple HBRs, but I prefer the HBR Average Joe more than any of these. So I use foregrip, red dot sight, and quick draw. I should be using stock, but I don't have it. And I don't know exactly what dual magazine is. I never really used it. I think it's basically just the same as extended MIGs, possibly. I have no idea. But yeah, that's exactly what I use for that. And as you guys can see, my perks are normally always the same, and so are my score streaks. If you look at my score streaks here, they're the same as it is on my Battle 27 up here. And if you look at my perks, are the same as all of these. My perks don't actually change. If I just go through, you don't see a single perk changing. The only thing that'll change is if I have Exo movement speed on or not. So now we go over to my second set of classes. I actually have still some what you want to call it, some public match classes here. I only have one, and this is the AK-12 RIP. This one is another one of my classes where I try to get a DNA bomb. I actually should be using stock, and I don't want to take off the extended MIGs, because if you guys have the AK-12 RIP, you will know that the AK-12 RIP only comes with 22 bullets in its magazine. So that's why I use that. Quick draw you probably don't need, so stock might be a good perk to have instead of quick draw. But anyways, now we go back over here. Same stuff, same perks, except for I have lightweight on. Now low profile. You know, it's kind of, you can choose whatever you want. Normally, I'm trying to get better at, like I was in Black Ops 2, where you don't exactly need a you know, low profile on or ghost. Let's see. So you don't need a not a commentary. I just looked at a video I just posted, but you don't really need low profile on to stay away from those UAVs. So once you get used to, you know, playing with the UAV on the enemy team, if someone gets it on the enemy team and you're used to playing with it and having quick reflexes, then you won't need it anymore. So I've been trying to, you know, figure that out and try to get better with it. And of course, to do that, you're gonna have to play with L low profile on. And then I have the same exact streaks here, except I do have the assault drone on, and this is different. I have kind of a different thing for this. That's because the assault drone is actually really good, especially for going for those DNA bombs, where you can actually set up an assault drone kind of in the area that you're at, so it'll sit there and it'll watch your back while you watch the front. So really you only need to pay attention to 1 or 2 zones, as your assault drone will pick up basically, let's say you're in an area with three places to cover. Your assault drone will cover all of them, but of course it's going to go for the place where the person's at, and they're just really good. So now these are all my competitive classes. I actually still have 2 spots here, so this is the one that I actually took off the double nades. So I'm going to put on the double nades there. That's because that's for my hard point classes. And then if you look, basically I have lightweight on, fast hands, because none of this you really need. Maybe flak jacket you might want to use, but you don't need peripherals on really. You need fast hands, I think, when you're playing Call of Duty, like, you know, hardcore matches where you're going for, like, you know, playing rank play and different, you know, you want to just do good. So then I have toughness, and then I have blast suppressor on, and this is because normally when you're playing rank play, people are going to be using ASM1s, and if they do that and you walk over their gun or run over their gun, you're going to pick up the rest of the ammo that's in that gun. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that is what happens. And then I have Exo overclock on, just so I can get the hard points faster and double nades, you know, nade the hard point, so I can try to break it. And then basically these classes are the same. The only thing that changes is that you obviously can't put advanced rifling on an assault rifle. So I do have the same stuff basically. The only thing that's different between these two is that I don't have stock on my ASM1, but I do on the Bal 27. Nothing else really changes. That's for mainly like what would you call it? Capture the flag. That's what I normally would use that class for. And then these are my 2 S&D classes. For my S&D classes, I use the same perks, as you can see, on my ASM1 and on my Bal 27, and I use the same attachments. The only thing that's different between them is actually on my S&D classes, I'll put on Exo overclock and Exo mute device. That way, if I'm, you know, the last live, I can put on Exo mute, and this will normally help you even to get in those 1v3 situations. The Exo mute device will really help you out, so you can stay quiet. And Exo mute kind of lasts to me for quite a bit of time, so that's actually really good too. And then Exo overclock, just because if you're defending, you want to get to a certain spot to defend the bomb, obviously. I mean, Exo overclock is basically neat. As you can see, I have it in all 4 of these classes. Basically just so I can get to the place that I need to get and just go and slay people out. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video on my classes. I know that I didn't go into you know, a series that I was continuing on. I do want to go back, and I want to try to get the next win in a domination game, which I definitely will be doing here soon. I still haven't worked on the supply drop challenge. I don't think I'm going to do it for this. I'm actually going to sit there and, you know, go try to get the Exo suit, but I'm not going to do that as a like challenge thing. I think I'm going to do them as like a supply drop challenge only thing, so that'll be kind of cool. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to go through all these game modes. I decided not to do Mosh Pit, and I don't think I'm going to do Ground War. I might, just because there's more people and it's more of a different kind of feel to the game. But that's basically all for this video, guys. I hope you guys have really enjoyed my videos so far. I hope you guys liked the last one. I've been editing them kind of in a, you know, cheap kind of way, but I hope you guys enjoy them nonetheless. And anyways, guys, this has been Phantom KR or DOA Gunman 97. Until next time, see you.